Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Vanessa, this is Nessa CX Beauty, and today I'm going to be rating all of my Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. I was looking through my eyeshadow palette collection and I realized that I had a ton of Juvia's Place, and so I decided to rank them all because I want to let y'all know what my faves are from this brand and what my least favorites are, because some of it might surprise you. So if you're interested in seeing my faves and my least faves from Juvia's Place, just continue watching. So I am going to start off from my least favorite all the way to my favorite, just to build a little bit of suspense. And the first and my least favorite Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette that I own is the Violets by Juvia's Place. I needed this in my life because I gravitate towards purple eyeshadow, and sadly this just didn't cut it for me. I mean, look at the color story, super pretty, but the shimmers just didn't do it for me. The mattes weren't that awesome either. I definitely think they had a different formula for these mini eyeshadow palettes, because my second least favorite eyeshadow palette from Juvia's Place that I own is the Berries. Not gonna lie, these mattes are actually pretty dope and pretty, but these shimmers just don't do it for me, and for that reason I am also sinking this at the bottom of my favorites list from Juvia's Place. I have not purchased any more 6-pan eyeshadow palettes because I got trust issues now. Not gonna lie. The new orange one that they just came out with kind of looks awesome, but I want to see reviews before I buy that, because these shimmers in these palettes just did not cut it for me after being so spoiled by Juvia's Place in the past. So this is actually Juvia's Place, and these shimmers are dope, and you're gonna see these palettes further to the top. The next eyeshadow palette is gonna come as a little surprise for a lot of people, because this palette ranks very high for almost everybody that I know that collects Juvia's Place, and this is the Zulu eyeshadow palette. This is the inside, and the main reason that I did put this closer to the bottom is the fact that this yellow really did let me down. It's part of the reason I purchased this palette, not gonna lie, but the yellow let me down, and so I don't use it that much. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. The shimmers are phenomenal in this palette, not gonna lie. They are similar to some of my favorite shimmer formulas within Juvia's Place, but because of that yellow I did put it to the bottom of the pile because I like the other palettes more. Don't judge me. The next eyeshadow palette is the Magic Mini, and this is the inside. I bought this because of this gold, and y'all gotta see this gold. That is a stunning gold, but it's close to the bottom as well because I barely use it if it's not for the gold or any of the shimmers. I don't really use the mattes in this palette because I like other mattes in other palettes even better, but this gold, Nubia, makes this palette not be decluttered for me. Yes. The next eyeshadow palette, and I actually really do like this eyeshadow palette. It's more of like, I guess I would say, my type of everyday eyeshadow palette. It's the Saharan by Juvia's Place, and this is she. She's kind of like a little bit of the Magic Mini, but a little bit less crazy. The shimmers are phenomenal, the mattes are awesome, and I can't say enough good things. My favorite shade in this palette is the shade Iman. I also dig into it a lot, but Iman is such a dope shimmer and very unique to this palette. So that's why this is on the mid spectrum. The next eyeshadow palette is one that a lot of people went crazy for earlier this year. It is the Wahala eyeshadow palette, and I actually really like this when I tried it out. It does have 3 pressed glitters that I never use, but the shimmer formula in this palette, I want to show y'all this. The shimmer formula in this palette is so beautiful. I'm gonna swatch 2 shimmers. Let's take Fighter and Gossip. Look at those green shimmers. Ugh. This palette alone for its shimmers is amazing. The one thing that I will say is the shade Woke, the bottom right or left, depending on how you look at this palette, shade, she's asleep. She ain't pigmented. She don't do nothing. So 4 of these shadows are obsolete in my book. The 3 glitters and Woke. So that's why she's also not at the top. But if you want fantastic shimmers, the Wahala is the way to go. The next eyeshadow palette is the Masquerade. She is one of my tried and true. She's one of the first Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes that I bought. And the reason why she's so close to the top is because she's super wearable on the bottom, but she's super fun on the top. And the shimmer formula, the matte formula, everything about the palettes with the huge pans is phenomenal in my opinion. So if you're trying to get something that you can wear every day, but also, you know, go to a party with one day, the Masquerade is a perfect eyeshadow palette for you. She's very, very multi-useful. You can use some of the browns as bronzer, contour, this shimmer or this shimmer or this shimmer as a highlighter. They're multi-purposeful and it's a beautiful eyeshadow palette. Highly recommend it. But the next 2 eyeshadow palettes. Well, y'all already know what my favorite Juvia's eyeshadow palette is if you already watched me for a while. But my close to the top eyeshadow palette is the Tribe by Juvia's Place. Now, this eyeshadow palette is actually discontinued at this point. And it's very, very saddening because look at how gorgeous it is. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. And one thing I will say is Koro, this one right here, it looks like it's gonna be a light, you know, goldy color. But when you swatch her, let us swatch her. She has a beautiful green shift to her. And y'all, this is the eyeshadow palette that I have on my eyes today. I do have Koro on this part of my lid. And then the other shimmer that I have is Cuba. I love this eyeshadow palette and I do not know why they are discontinuing it. It is so sad. But if you can get your hands on it on like Mercari or Poshmark, I highly, highly recommend. Now, the last eyeshadow palette. This one is my tried and true, my all-time favorite Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette. I can wear her every day. I can wear her on a date. I can have fun with her. She's awesome. This is the Nubian 2 eyeshadow palette. This palette has been through it with me. It's one of the first eyeshadow palettes I featured on my YouTube channel, and I cannot stay away from her, especially during the fall. A lot of my friends have picked this up because of me, and they don't regret it because it is such a good eyeshadow palette. I am wearing the shade Zuri, this one right here, as a highlighter today, and look at that glow. This is why I love Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes that have these huge pans. You can use them on your face, and this highlighter is astronomical. But that is my entire list. Something I will mention is that I used to have the actual original Nubian eyeshadow palette. I'll throw a picture of her right here. She would have been on the list, but I gave her away to my cousin because I was at a point where I was only using colorful eyeshadow palettes, and now is the time where I'm more using my brown and wearable eyeshadow palettes. So I gave her away because I was never using her. But she's an honorable mention. She is a very good eyeshadow palette, especially for an everyday kind of thing if you're gonna go to work. But you can also get a little bit of like Hollywood glam with her, even though she's a lot of browns. But those shimmers are bomb. And then I will finish this video with an eyeshadow palette that is on my wish list. Well, the reason why I didn't buy this palette when it came out is because I was wearing colorful eyeshadow palettes at the time and eyeshadow shades at the time. I mean, I'm wearing eyeshadow, I'm wearing green all over my eyes right now, but I've been wearing brown more recently. The eyeshadow palette that I want is the Warrior. It looks like the shimmers are super dope. I know that they're gonna be super dope. A lot of people love the Warrior, but that one might be my next purchase. Not gonna lie, because I see my friend Made Up by Kirsten wear it a lot, and I'm convinced that I need that eyeshadow palette. But let me know what y'all thought about my ranking. Let me know if you agree with me on some of them. Let me know if you disagree with me on some of them. You know, to each their own. It's makeup. We like what we like and we don't like what we don't like. And it's not to say that I hate these eyeshadow palettes. It's just that they are not my favorite compared to this one and this one kind of thing. So I would say the cutoff point is probably the last three. I can genuinely say that I dislike these two palettes, and I can genuinely say that this one is probably never gonna get used again, but the rest of them, all fair game. These are all wonderful eyeshadow palettes. I just love this one the most, and that's my own 2 cents. But have a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you soon.